What's up everyone, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be talking about the second off-banner style in our series of videos, Premonition of a Change, Princess White Rose. This is a good option for those that are missing out on any version of Princess White Rose, but also offers some interesting inheritance and gameplay for those that already have. Now we are on our srsdb.com and we can check all different versions of White Rose. The last three ones are S only, and this one can be found on Final Island now. It was on Robin Cup. It's good for inheritance. 46 combine is limited and only returns in special banners. Favorite combine can be found in platinum banners. Okay, so from the top, all the other 5 SS styles are limited. Valentine's had Chocoball and Ray of Hope, very important in the start of the game, but then very low agility for current standards. She barely hits enemies now. The mage version was released for better damage, but till this day it's not so useful. Then Memories in the Snow, the Christmas edition, it's a healer with passive. Then we have Princess Pumpkin, a Global X Halloween edition that has a passive that buffs Will to the party every time she gets hit. It's a very good character, a meta one to use in challenges and boss fights. And now the off-banner Premonition of Change is here, and she does have interesting status. We can compare between those 3, and she gets similar STR, endurance, and dexterity. Those are not the most important status. Her agility is much higher. On 90%, she beats the 2 styles by a large margin. She also has the highest intelligence available between them all. Will is pretty much the same. Love seems a little lower, but it's pretty close. And Charisma is pretty much the same between them all. So the selling point here is the biggest agility, and this can be used in her favor for evasion strategies. Her endurance is pretty bad, just like most healers, and her will is good. At least she will not be so inflicted with status elements, but could be much better. She spent more status on love for better heals. Okay, we have 1 arrow for agility, so this one is also good for farming this, but it's still not better than the mage version that has double arrows for agility. So you can farm with this one and then evade better if you have it all with this one. Now, for passives, we have Mystic Power number 3. On the start of a turn, she has a 25% chance to buff all of her status by 20% and gets 3 BP. This is a very good passive when you consider everything it has to offer, and it's something that you find in Mystics from the SaGa Frontier series. Like, there is this version of Acelus, she gets the same passive. In Acelus is good because she's a counter unit, so she needs offensive and defensive status, and helps her do more damage and survive better. But what can you do when you talk about Princess White Rose? This helps her a lot actually. Getting more agility will allow her to evade better, and if you are planning on use evasion strategies, this version of White Rose is actually the best one with inheritance. And if you get some of the other status, you will just get more resistance and even more damage. And in average, this will trigger once every 4 turns, allowing her to skip normal attacks and keep using spells. This is important in her own design. So the second passive is called Healing Favor. On the end of a turn, we have 25% chance to recover all surviving allies by very small effect. That should be around 180. And 25% chance means it's once every 4 turns on average. It's not reliable, but it can be an extra if you are on a very long fight and you cannot keep using LP spells, since you will just be in danger. But there is a better version of this passive found in Night Token, for example. He has a 37% chance to trigger the same heal. And also the Christmas version of White Rose was buffed in Global to have the same. So it's not as strong as their version, but if you don't have them, it's just an extra. You can combo them together to have even more chances of healing. There is a future formation called Genbu that will also recover HP on the end of a turn. You can try to stack more to survive better, but it may be even overkill. And the last one is called Hyper Overtension, increases damage by 20%, 35 on combo and 50 on overdrive. This means that when you want to do damage in overdrive, you're gonna get more, and support units usually just switch to nuke only on overdrive. All the other time they are just using support skills or less powered ones. As you can see, the Christmas version can heal herself and get PP. Well, we lose the heal part, but we can also get BP, and also heals everyone on the end of a turn, and has overtension. So pretty similar kit, at least for the passives. And because the Christmas edition was limited, it's interesting to see that they made an off-banner style just so similar. For spells, we have Starlight Heal. 2 BP and 1 LP for a heal, revives and cleanses from poison. The heal is not so powerful, only D power and 10 mod, but because it's cheap, it may be enough depending on the situations. And she has very high love, so not bad. She wants to save VP to use older spells, but if you want a better heal, you can just inherit. Like I said, this style is free to get in Final Island, so there is Ray of Hope, a much better heal, but it costs 5 VP, more than the double, and heals for max value. You can just go from 0 to max easily, but this one cleanses all status elements. Sometimes you just want to cleanse instead of healing, and this one is good because of this. And she wants to save VP because of the second spell called Heat Wave Plus. For 5 VP we have an AoE attack with sun and heat damage, deep power and 10 mod. But it also brings a chance to debuff agility. This is very nice for those that are missing out on chocolate balls, but it does have a higher cost, 5 VP instead of 4. Well, you can find Choco Balls in her Valentine version, or also in the Halloween version we have Choco Balls. So this is more for those that miss these two styles and can use something as a replacement. But it's just hard to keep using this. You can start the fight and use it 3 times in a row, but then after that you won't have enough VP. You have to switch between normal attack and heat wave, unless Mystic Power helps you and trigger more times than normal, allowing you to keep using Heat Wave Plus. But in general, this is the best version of Princess White Rose to keep using chocolate balls because of Mystic Power itself. We can get BP here and there, and she will hardly ever have to switch to normal attacks. But then again, you need to already have older versions of White Rose. Not everyone will have this. But it's serviceable. The last version of Mei Ling also has Heat Wave Plus, alongside another passive that can get her BP. So it will work if you really need agility debuff, but sometimes you may need a second debuffer to keep up. Then the last spell is Light Sphere. For 9 BP we have a nuke with triple S damage, 60 mod, actually very nice, with a high chance to inflict darkness on a target. But darkness is not so good because it decreases the accuracy of the enemy, but usually they have very high accuracy already. Unless you debuff them to low values and then you apply darkness, it really doesn't matter anyway. It having high chances now, the highest chance to apply this, but well, it's just unnecessary. But it's the best nuke from Halloween Princess White Rose. Light Sphere, it's better than the Christmas attack Snow Rose, that is only double S power. This attack is still good because it heals herself, but if you want to do more damage on Overdrive, you always use Light Sphere. Maybe the extra power will help you kill a boss. There's not many things to say about cycling. This is a boss unit, so if you want to farm, you can use Heat Wave Plus 3 times in a row. May help if you are missing out on sun or heat damage. Now, if you want to use single target cycles, you can open with Light Sphere, and then after that, you can inherit Light Swarm to keep the single target cycle, but it's nothing special. She's not made for farming anyway. But you can inherit Light Sphere into your Halloween edition. So let's say you are in a boss fight and you are using chocolate balls. You can skip 1/3, save VP, and then on Overdrive you're gonna use that attack instead of Photosphere Shot. There are fights where I use Photosphere Shot after stacking a lot of intelligence and she does more than 100,000 damage. Now you're gonna do triple S damage instead of B. The damage will scale a lot and she can help out killing bosses on Overdrive. And this also works well with the Christmas style. If you are lacking chocolate balls, you can just go here and import Heat Wave into the Christmas style. Again, it's not the best cycle. Chocolate balls is better because it's cheaper, but if you don't have it, it's the next best thing. So this version of White Rose just brings utility and act as a replacement in between the versions of White Rose and work well for new accounts. If you are a new player and you don't have access to many healers, this one is considered a premium one. May not work well in all content. There are mages that will be better here and there, but she is good enough. And once more, if you are planning to use White Rose for agility, evasion, and strategies, this is the best one, but you will need to spend a lot of gold pieces to get her maxed. I don't think there's any rush to get this version of Princess White Rose if you already have the Christmas and Halloween editions. If you miss out in one of them, it increases the value, but I still don't believe you should just summon and try to get enough coins to pity her. If she drops, okay, unless you are too close, like one multi-pull away and you feel like she's gonna add into your party. Still, she's a good replacement and works similarly to the last version of Mei Ling, and we place it close to her in our tier list as a double S unit. Now, just one extra info, in JP, they just got a version of Princess White Rose that uses swords, and it's a buffer, so even if you miss out on all versions of White Rose, training her and using will just be good, since in the future you will be able to get this buff and interchange. That will be very good to have a unit that works well in two different remembrance battles. But in the end, I still consider her to be inferior to the Christmas style, and I hardly ever use the Christmas over the Halloween one. But that is my opinion. What is yours? Please say here in the comment sections. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to support the channel, there are links on the description. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye.